What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. My name is Nour Trades, and here we are with another daily recap of what I traded today. And yes, we do have Tesla on the list, so I know I'm gonna see a bunch of comments like, yo, all you do is trade Tesla. Yes, all I do is trade Tesla. But we do have Roku. Roku is the spotlight of the week, and I actually thought I was done at the end of the I actually thought I was done when I traded Roku today. I was like, I'm up $1,200 for today. Call it a day. Had a nice week last week. Tesla ended up giving me this opportunity where I can actually catch a big move. So usually when you tell yourself you're done for the day, you want to actually be done for the day, because then you're just forcing trades, and you end up eating your profits for the day, and then you go red, and then you're like, damn, what did I do? What could I have done better? And all that good stuff. So instead of chasing trades, let the trades come to you. And I did that today with Tesla. So what are we gonna look at first? Let's look at Roku. Tesla's too crazy for you guys to handle right now. Let's start with something easier, right? And let's go with Roku. So what did I do with Roku? So as you can see from the previous videos, I know I'm uploading them a little late, but they will soon be live, like right after, the day of. It's just my Instagram is I'll explain it later, whatever. But today, Roku, it's been a highlight. It's been part of my last two videos. I haven't uploaded those, but they will be uploaded by the time this is up. So my past two videos, we talked about Roku, been popping, since, from 128 up to 166, it's a great move. So today, what was I looking for? So on Friday, today's currently Monday, as you can see right here, I have to make this video within 20 minutes because if I don't, it'll reset my profits for the next day. So what was I looking at on Roku? So Roku, the high was 159.91. So resistance on Roku, if you look on the 4-hour, is around that 160 level. So it's a little choppy around this level. But the 160 level was resistance, and then we had a high in the last 180 days of 168, but that's not the high. That was literally pre-market action, but it was really around 165. So after we broke 160, we had room to 165. So that was my target for today, and actually, so it did end up hitting 166, so a little past my target here. So I waited for the 160 break here, and I entered on the 160 break and ended up selling actually pretty damn near peak here, which is kind of crazy, and I got filled. So ended up getting filled right here. I saw 162-ish when I sold, and it ended up pushing to 162.49. So around this area right here, I got in on the 160 break, which is around right here, and ended up selling around here. I was going to enter again on the break. It ended up going to 166, but I was like, let me call it a day. I could be chasing it here since I've been playing it every day. So 160 was my support. How I got that 160 was my resistance. How I got that 165 resistance was I went on the 4-hour, and I saw that last time I got this high in the last 180 days, the high was 168, but it was really getting rejected around that 165 level. As you can see right here, it couldn't stay above that. So I used that to my advantage. And yeah, so that was my Roku play today. Very quick, clean cut play. In the morning, I usually don't go with heavy in the morning, especially if it's the first minute of the day. It's not the smart thing to do. So go in light, adjust your size appropriately, and have your stop losses tight. So next thing, Tesla. Crazy moves today. Contracts are about $10,000 today. Not something everybody could play, but in the last 5 days, let me show you something. Whoa. From 1243 to 1,800 bucks. You don't really see that often, right? So today we got some news. They were cutting prices on the Model Y. A lot of people took that as a positive. Investors also started chasing this at open. It's just been a hot topic. Tesla is always a hot topic. That's kind of why I get those comments like, yo, all you trade is Tesla. Yeah, I'm not going to skip something that's going to make me a lot of money for the day. I'm good. I'll keep playing it whenever I can. So Tesla, I caught it to the upside here on the, actually I didn't catch it to the upside. I caught it only to the downside. So what did I do? I waited for the 1660 break. So the problem was with my first entry, I had 2 entries on Tesla today. The first one was I got in over here on this candle right here. So as you can see, the problem was this ended up pushing to 1705, and that's a pretty big pop. So it went from 1660 and it popped to 1705. I was down a nice chunk. I had about 2 contracts, and I was down about 3,000 at a time. But I understood I got in on the falling knife, and now it has the bear flag. So I waited for the bear flag to curl down. Ended up getting out on, what candle did I get out on? Oh, I got out on this candle right here. So this candle dropped all the way to 1637. Ended up selling that position. Next thing I waited for was the 1630 break. Got in here, ended up selling right here. And I wanted to get back in on the 1600 break, and I was too late. So that was the only thing that I traded here today, those 2 positions here. So why did I have that certain support on on Tesla today? That's 16. Well, technically my first support was 1660. Why did I have that? So usually you want to use open as support for things that are running, right? So why is that? Why did I use Tesla's 1660 open price as my support for the day? So what people do, especially people playing momentum stocks like this, they'll get in at open and they'll set a tight stop loss immediately at whatever they got in, and it should be open price, which is 1660 today. So they'll set a stop loss. As long as it doesn't hit it, this kept running up, and they could have taken profits up here, or they could have easily just waited. So people said trailing stops, or they just said stops, right? So most investors will set a stop right at open and just ride this for the rest of the day. So where stops get triggered is open right here, because like I just said, people will set stops at open, stop losses at open, and just ride the wave, right? As soon as you start breaking daily, the daily open on something like Tesla, you're gonna get a bunch of stop losses triggered. So it creates this big candle. Look at the volume. So look at the volume, 300,000. Right? You had some 100K, 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 and then you started getting close to the stop loss area, and then you had 300K, and then you had 572K. So stop losses were getting triggered, and that was my first entry, which was the 1660. The reason I used 1630 and then 1600 was, as you can see, you're not really creating much support or resistances overnight. Those aren't strong, support or resistances. Obviously, Tesla's moving 100, 200 bucks overnight, but there is cons to that. So when it ends up doing the opposite, where it's coming down, it's going to be far easier to break down to support than it is to break through resistance. So as you can see, overnight it created a gap. It got stuck around this level from 4 a.m. to 5:48 a.m. Finally broke 1600, bounced to 1630, got rejected, and finally broke through with volume. Look at this big candle right here. And that's why I use that 1630 level as my resistance. This 1600 level that I used as my support for the day, which is open, that comes from experience. So a lot of people don't know that, and I just explained why. So a lot of people just know, technicals, strict technicals like resistance support. I used open as support because that's what people do, and I know that from experience. And I did get in a little too early, but I knew what was going on, so I stayed in on the whole ride down. Got out over here and on this candle, this specific candle, I remember it, and then got back in on the 1630 break and ended up selling at 1604, 1605, around that 1600 level. And then by the time I was about to go and get my contracts, I was about to purchase 1590. This candle happened, and I don't like chasing anything, so. This ended up going from 1540 all the way down to 1504. After hours, it's gotten upgraded. It's kind of pushing here. But yeah, those are my 2 plays today. That's how I made over $7,000 here today. Great day. These past 2 weeks in July have been phenomenal. as far as plays. You got a $320 move from high to low today on Tesla. You don't get that a lot, so you want to take advantage and execute it. So if you guys enjoyed that video, make sure you hit the like button. Anything about me, if you guys want to join the chat, pre-registration is down below, where I give my live entries and exits with over 600 students. You can fill that out, and comment down below what other videos I should make. I'll see you guys. Peace.